Well, Bellow, welcome to Portland. Kind of sort of back to Portland. Jump on those microphones. Come on up, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Well, their self-titled album is out, and there'll be a pick-a-thon this weekend. And what a blessing it is to have you guys come into our Bing Lounge today. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So the album came out in January. We were talking earlier before, it's been kind of a whirlwind ride. Here's some of the things that have happened. You've opened up for Robert Plant. That's kind of awesome. Played the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. The band is still going. This is what's going to happen. Pick-a-thon this weekend. Outside Lands, that's in San Francisco. Kind of sort of opening for Paul McCartney, I guess you could say. He's playing, and you're playing.
That's how we'll remember.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
At festivals?
You can listen it on
There's
your
like
resume
30
as
bands,
such.
and you're like, we opened for the Lord, and he was no.
Woodstock too, yeah, there you go. And then you've got more coming on, the Austin City Limits Festival. But you said the most nerve-wracking experience of the year so far was when you were playing the Conan O'Brien show.
Yes.
Yes, and why?
Well, for one, I mean, you get there at 7 a.m., and you're there thinking about one song, thinking about 3 minutes and 25 seconds until 4:45 p.m., and then you sing the song. And when we sang the song, so that was the day our record came out. So Conan O'Brien obviously didn't know who we were. He actually made a joke during the show. He was like, "The Lone Bellow's playing. Good job, whoever picks the music. I don't know who that is." Like, great. And then we started playing, and he was at his desk, and he's tall. And so we're on the stage, and he's like over here at his desk, and all of his lights are off, and we're playing. And then he just stands up and walks over to the edge of his stage and just gleams over at us like a midnight dark angel of the past. Yep. And it was nerve-wracking, most definitely.
A little bit intimidating.
And then we had to socialize with him. You're like,
Oh, that was also, like you said, early on, right as the record had taken off. So
it was an honor. It was an honor being there.
That's really, really cool. So you guys go back, your friendship goes back a ways before the band, correct? True or false? Yeah? True. And your first gig actually was at a wedding?
Conan and I first sang together. You want to tell the story?
At my brother's wedding. So they were college friends. And then I was living in China, like you do. And then came back to the States, to Nashville, to sing at my brother's wedding. And he had paired me up with this guy, who I was 94% sure was insane. Because he was allergic to his boutonniere, so his face was all swollen.
I didn't know I was allergic to my boutonniere.
But yeah, we sang "Oh Happy Day" together while everybody walked out of the church.
And that was it. That was the beginning.
Definitely. And me and Brian go back when we met when we were teens. Brian was the first singer-songwriter I had ever met personally and lived with. So, yeah, so we go way back. Brian was doing music in Nashville since like 2002, and I was doing music in New York since like 2005. And then 3 years ago, these two moved to Brooklyn, and I had written some really sad songs, and they helped me find some kind of safe haven for them to live in.
Do you want to explain kind of the theory as to why maybe some of your songs were sad? I don't know if that has to do with what your wife went through earlier, or where the bulk of your songs were written.
I mean, I started writing music. My wife fell off a horse at my parents' little horse ranch in Ackworth, Georgia, and she broke C1, C3, C5, and C6, and was like diagnosed a quadriplegic. And we were at this incredible hospital called the Shepherd Center. That's where Christopher Reeves was, actually. But Keneen's older brother was one of these like 15 people that just lived with me in the waiting room for weeks on end. And they would, sit with me through hours of awkward silence and help me process. And there would be moments of just dying laughing because someone would act like they were like going downstairs. You know that trick? Like behind a window. But during that time, I was journaling everything, just going through the different stages of grief, and I would write in rhyme just to help kind of process the info. And actually, her brother and my other good friend Caleb Clardy was like, man, you should learn how to play the guitar and sing at the same time, and somehow just turn these into like 4-minute songs and just go play the open mic just to get it out, just to scream at strangers. So that's where music found like kind of a place in my heart. But that was 9 years ago.
Yeah. And your wife's doing great, and you're
Yes.
expecting his third child in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So all those friends, we were like, man, if some miracle happens and my wife Stacy gets better, can never walk again, let's all move to New York City together and just do life together. Just live as close as we can and try to walk to each other's houses. So she did, and it's like we've been in Brooklyn for the past 8 years, and we've got little kids that are like falling in love with each other now and all this mess, and we're going to have to deal with that.
That's great. Well, it's got a happy ending, and now a great beginning with the Lone Bellow. So thanks for coming in. See them at Pickathon this weekend. Get their self-titled album is out. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Lone Bellow.